English Forward presents.
We're going to be chatting to Adam Todd, the founder and developer of the DigitX Futures Exchange today. Adam, welcome to the English Forward podcast.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about where you're from and where you are in the world.
Well, I'm English. Right now, I'm in Moscow. I'm working very closely with our developers right now. But I'm English. I've lived in Miami for about 16 years. I traveled the world before that. I used to be a pit trader back in the day. I was a pit trader in London for 4 years back in the 90s. So really all over the place, really.
You know, it's funny because when I saw that you were a pit trader, the closest I've got to a pit is working in a brasserie at Liverpool Street Station.
Yeah, it's probably more civilized.
Yeah, and we actually used to have all the traders come in, and you could always see if they'd had a good day or a bad day, man. It was a great time.
Yeah, with all those brightly colored jackets on, those kinds of guys.
That's exactly right, eh?
Yeah. It was mayhem. I think when I was trading bonds, the German government bonds futures. The average age there was like 200 guys in that pit, and the average age was about 19 years old. None of us had a clue what a German government bond actually was. We just bought them and sold them a lot, and it went from there.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. I mean, I remember young guys coming in and they had an amazing run and they were buying Lambos, and then the next day they were sleeping on somebody's couch.
Yeah. It was very up and down. It was a boom and bust time. Like I say, most of them never really understood what they were buying and selling. That was kind of the problem for a lot of them.
Yeah. And I mean, you obviously learned a lot of lessons in trading. What is the worst part about the trading?
The worst part?
Yeah.
The worst part? I don't know. I always kind of liked it. The worst part was obviously going broke. I mean, I did go broke a few times as a pit trader. That's never a pleasant experience. But you know, there's no such thing as a free lesson, right? So it's kind of one of those things that you had to go through. It's like a rite of passage for a trader. Unless you've just blown your whole bank, you never really know what it's like to do that. So I guess that's the worst part is the lessons, the meaningful lessons anyway, can be very painful.
I reckon that's pretty the foundation that set you up for what you're doing today.
Yeah. I mean, back then as a pit trader, I mean, that was very frenetic trading, just buying, selling. The actual making a tick profit was quite, no, I wouldn't say easy, but quite consistent. You know, I would make money most days, just stealing ticks really. But the commissions just absolutely killed it for me. You know, it's just, the commissions were really, they really did change everything. You often have a tick profit day, but you've lost because of the commissions. So I just always dreamed of the ability to trade futures without paying any commissions. And so it was always just in the back of my mind. And so, you know, when I discovered Ethereum, you know, the blockchain, especially Ethereum, and the ability to create your own tokens, and then I started playing around with the possibilities of that. And, you know, that's what gave me the idea of being able to create a commission-free exchange. So it was very much scratching my own itch, really, that those days in the pit of, you know, very active trading that was just killed by commissions, that really did give me the idea for what I'm doing now.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I know, just reading a little bit about you, you've obviously traveled a huge amount and been involved in other businesses. Were there other businesses and things, experiences that you've drawn on to actually create the platform that you're operating today?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I did get into, when I was into sports betting, I discovered Betfair. Actually, when I came back from South Africa I think it was 2002, just completely broke, you know, back to mum and dad's house. And then I discovered Betfair, and it was very much like futures trading. And I started trading on the horse races there, the UK horse racing prices, just before the race, you know, 10 minutes just before the off. And then as the race was about to start, I'd square myself up and then start trading on the next race. It was exactly like futures trading, really, except I was just trading horse racing prices instead of futures. I didn't know one end of a horse from another. The profits and losses were unrelated to whether the horse actually won or lost the race.
Incredible, eh?
Yeah, and so that really helped me there. Then from there, I went on to develop a one-click ladder trading interface for Betfair, and I basically stole that idea from the futures screens, you know. So that was, and then the marketing side of it, you know, I marketed that. That was called BetTrader. That was like the most popular betting software for Betfair, and I marketed that pretty effectively. And now I'm using those marketing, you know, the things I learned from marketing that with what I'm doing now. So yeah, I guess it's all related, right?
It's incredible how you just draw all those experiences and put something together that can actually change the future.
Well, you know, you keep doing stuff. Eventually, you know, everything comes together. You know, there's so many elements needed to be successful with something. You know, it kind of takes you a few attempts. You know, you kind of need to build up that bank of experience, I guess, before the big thing really clicks. You know.
Yeah, it is like that, especially coming up with the ideas that work and ultimately are sustainable.
Yeah. I mean, I was amazed by how popular the concept of DigitX was. You know, I just, you know, I thought it was a good idea and everything, but I was amazed just by how much it took off. You know, how keen everybody, you know, just everybody jumped on it, how fast the community grew. You know, we got a massive Telegram community. We got, you know, 1.5 million people joined our wait list waiting to join the exchange.
I saw that's incredible, eh?
I know. So I'm quite taken aback by it, to be honest. You know, I thought it was a good idea, but I didn't think it would be that popular.
Well, maybe there are a few more people that actually believe in no commission trading.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you think about it, it makes sense, right? It's kind of a no-brainer. You know, no commissions. And, you know, we're going to be non-custodial too, so you're not going to have to trust the exchange with your money. And we're also working on building a provably fair, again, using blockchain technology to build a provably fair matching engine where you can actually prove that the exchange isn't, you know, front running or you know, queue jumping or censoring and things like that. So those three things, you know, zero commissions, you don't have to trust the exchange with the money, and provably fair matching engine, it's kind of an easy sell when you think about it. It's not surprising that it's popular.
Yeah, absolutely. Complete transparency. And I think that's what people want. So sick and tired of being sold the wrong story.
Right. Yeah.
And what inspires you?
What inspires me?
I mean, this you really are building something unique and something that's so useful for humanity.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess what inspires me? Huh? You've stumped me with that question. Just like I say, it's very much scratching my own itch. So it's not just some scheme that I jumped on to. Oh, this will make me some money. I'll do this. It's just something that I wanted to do for years and years and years. And so, you know, when I finally had the opportunity to do this, I'm just very, very determined to get it right, to not mess it up. And you know, we've had some development issues. We did get the wrong development team at the start, and that did set us back. Unfortunately, that's like put us back a good chunk of time. But I guess I just got to keep going, because this is something I've always really wanted to do, and I'm just very keen to make sure that this happens no matter what. You know, this is going to happen no matter what. I have that kind of mentality with this.
Hey, I can hear your passion. Maybe I could ask you that question just in a different way. If I had to ask you, who is Adam Todd and what does he stand for, what would you tell me?
Who's Adam Todd? I would say certainly a free spirit. Very, very, yeah, just feeling free is very important. Maybe that's why the commission-free exchange is so important to me, because when it's commission-free and there's no actual edge built in against you, it's actually possible to make money. You know, it's actually possible to make a living. And I've been one of the lucky few traders that's managed to spend, you know, a good chunk of my life, like over 10 years, just independently making money as a trader. You know, where you're not providing a service for anyone. You're not creating a product. You're just living completely free. You know, that in a way that most people can never imagine. You know, so I've been lucky enough to experience that, and so I would say that's a big part of who I am. You know, having experienced that freedom, it kind of ruins you. You know, you can't just go get a job after that. So I would say it's closely related to to being a free spirit that, can do what he wants. And the idea that, I can create an exchange where thousands and thousands of people can experience that same thing. That's obviously, I think that's a big thing for me.
Yeah, well, I think if you certainly selling that dream, you're going to have millions of people that want to jump on the bandwagon.
Right. I mean, isn't that every guy's dream to like sit at home, boxer shorts, and make $100 a day? $200 a day. It doesn't have to be a fortune. You don't have to be one of these mega Wall Street bond traders. $200 a day is a life-changing amount of money for millions and millions of people around the world.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I've got a mate who sailed for 7 years, and they used to make, him and his wife, $200 a day for 5 days a month. And that was enough to keep the boat going from port to port. So
right. I mean, it really is. $100 a day is a life-changing amount of money for, millions and millions of people. You can, that's complete freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, when you apply that to the Western world, it's one thing, but when you apply it to the developing world, man, that changes whole families' lives.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that really does change everything.
Yeah, it's amazing. When did you start getting interested in crypto and blockchain and that type of thing? I mean, what was the switch?
I feel like I was kind of late to the party. I wasn't reading Satoshi's white paper. I think it was like 2014, I think, when I first discovered Bitcoin. And then 2015 and really 2016, I discovered Ethereum, really. I mean, it really only came out 2015, right? And then I discovered Ethereum, and then, the ability to create your own tokens. And I just got more and more deeper into it. But yeah, I was kind of late to the party. It was only like 5 years ago, really.
Geez, you've achieved a huge amount in the last 5 years.
It's just such an exciting, I like the fact that it's so new, that nobody's an expert. 5 years, I've only been in it 5 years, and I'm like one of the old guys. So
yeah, that's incredible.
I like that,
And what gave you the idea to actually set up the DigitX Futures Exchange?
Like I say, I just always had this dream of trading futures with no commissions, because if you can trade futures with no commissions, that very short-term trading style is just dynamite. So it's just something that always just was very interesting to me. And I guess I was always just looking, when I discovered Ethereum and the ability to create your own token, I was just looking at it from that angle, like, how could I create an exchange that is commission free? So I don't know, I just always had that idea in my head and always looked at things from that angle. So it was kind of inevitable I'd figure it out one day, I guess.
Would you mind just explaining in layman's terms what the DigitX Futures Exchange is?
Sure. It's a commission-free futures exchange where, and the way there's also going to be non-custodial, so you're not going to have to trust the exchange with your money. The way we're doing the commission-free thing is, I mean, obviously the exchange needs money to pay for support, marketing, development, all that kind of stuff. It's not pie in the sky. You need millions of dollars a year to run an exchange if you're going to do it properly. That money has to come from somewhere. So the way we do that is the exchange has its own native cryptocurrency, its own native currency called the DigitX token. And all your account balances, all traders' account balances are denominated in DigitX. Your profits and losses are denominated in DigitX. So you might be trading Bitcoin against the US dollar futures, but you're making and losing DigitX tokens. And the purpose of doing that is that it makes the use of the DigitX token compulsory, and that creates demand from traders who are interested in, who are attracted to our, commission-free, what will be very liquid markets. And that demand for the DigitX token allows us to generate revenue each year by creating a small number of new tokens each year instead of charging transaction fees on trades. So the money's coming from somewhere. It's like an inflation rate. It's coming from a small devaluation of everybody's tokens each year, but because obviously the money has to come from somewhere. It's just coming from a different place other than transaction fees on trades. So because when you charge transaction fees on trades, you're penalizing the most active traders, the guys that are giving most value to the exchange. You're kind of discouraging them from trading. They can't pursue a lot of trading strategies that they're just not viable on commission charging exchanges, whereas those trading strategies will be viable on a commission-free exchange. And so that's going to create a lot of liquidity. Liquidity begets liquidity. It's going to attract a lot of traders, and that demand for the token is what's going to allow us to operate without charging transaction fees.
Yeah, that makes 100% sense. I was actually, when I read through your website and stuff this morning, you obviously got your business case planned out, and there are a certain number of minimum traders and trades and things that you need to achieve a viable, sustainable company and platform long term. And as a businessman, maintaining profitability, is it something that takes up a lot of your time? Thinking about what to do and how to do that, projecting forward with scalability?
It doesn't really take up a lot of my time, to be honest, because I feel like we're just pulling numbers out of the air until we launch it. You can write the nicest business plan in the world, and there's just so many assumptions in these things that if just one of them is wrong, everything else is off. So at the current point, while we're still in development, I don't really lose any sleep over it, to be honest with you. I just know that I need to get a lot of traders on the platform, because the more traders, the better. But that's the same with any model for an exchange. A fee charging exchange, if there's no traders on there, you're not going to make commissions. So yes, obviously we need traders on there for liquidity and for the token to be in demand, but that's the same with any kind of model, really. This is just a different kind of model. It's just a model that's never been done before, because it's never been possible before, Ethereum, before the ability to create your own token. So it's exciting. It's going to be exciting to see how it goes down, because like I say, exchanges have been around for hundreds of years. They've all got the same model. They're all doing the same thing. This is a completely different way of generating revenue from your group of traders, and in a way that doesn't constantly siphon off liquidity from the trading pool. When you think about it, the more people trade in a normal exchange, there's always this leakage. There's always this insidious leakage of money coming out of the pool from the exchange taking its commissions, and that's not going to happen with our model. Whatever people put in there is going to swill around and get churned around amongst the traders until the winning traders have taken it from the losing traders. It's not the exchange taking a cut too.
Oh, that is so appealing.
Yeah, it's just going to be really interesting that, the whole mechanics of it is just going to be really interesting. I think there's going to be a lot more winning traders on our exchange just for that reason, that the exchange isn't constantly siphoning off money. That the money churns around until the winners have taken it from the losers. Yes, you still need to be a winner, but your chances of being a winner are, better than on a fee charging exchange.
Yeah, amazing. And I mean, you've obviously got an amazing marketing team that's out there and spreading the news and what have you, with a waiting list like you've got.
Yeah, we really got the marketing right. We hit it out the park with the marketing. We did well with the ICO. The ICO, we sold that out in 17 minutes. And then we used those same kind of viral marketing techniques that we'd done with that. We applied that to, promoting the waitlist and promoting the exchange. And that's how we got the 1.5 million on our list. It was just unfortunate that we had, the development issues that we had, because, when you're good at marketing and then you miss your launch date, all you've done is you've told the maximum number of people, how much you suck, basically. 'Cause that's the problem with good marketing, when the development can't keep up with it. So that's the problem we had. But we've now got the best developers we could hope to have. Now we've got SmartDeck. I don't know if you've heard of SmartDeck. They're one of the most respected.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, they're like one of the most respected Ethereum blockchain development companies in the world. Their main business is smart contract security auditing, but they do other kinds of development work too. And we've got a 13-strong team here within SmartDeck just working on building the DigitX Futures Exchange. And that's why I'm here in Moscow right now, just working with those very closely. And we're gonna base the marketing around the development effort and all that stuff. So yeah, the marketing we've got really right. Now we've finally got the development team right. So yeah, all the ducks are in a row now.
Yeah, it's exciting times for you guys, eh?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to launching. It's gonna be a great exchange, because it's one thing having an idea, but it's execution that really separates people. Ideas are neither here or there, and it's the execution. Now we're finally on the development side. We're finally there. I'm just very, very confident in the development team we've got, and just very excited to see how this all pans out very soon when we launch.
Yeah, that's amazing. I am, with what I do in education or what have you, obviously the challenges with blockchain are adoption, and getting a lot of people to actually buy into it and what have you. And even though, what you guys are offering is an alternative to a traditional method of trading futures, the technology still needs to be adopted in general, crypto, blockchain, etc. Have you guys got any specific ways that you educate and train traders, students, etc., to switch to your exchange?
Well, we haven't launched yet, so we don't have anything specific regarding training like that. It's something we're certainly going to look into. It's something certainly that we need to address. I think crypto in general is going to become more mainstream, especially if Libra's ever allowed to launch. But it's inevitable that crypto is going to become more mainstream as soon as people start getting wallets on their iPhone and their Messenger app and WhatsApp. It's going to be very normal. My kids, the iPhone and the internet is just, they can't even imagine life without it. And yet, when I started traveling, I didn't even know what an email address was. So we just got to get past that stage, really. That's the longer term thing. In the immediate term, we're gonna have to come up with training. We're gonna have to come up with innovative marketing to educate and to get people on there for sure. Yeah.
Because I think with as the developing world actually comes more and more in line. They're going to be looking for platforms like yours to create incomes, create sustainability, and it gives them the opportunity to get involved in the financial world that they never ever had before.
Right. And my dream is really, and I don't know if this is even possible yet because, lawyers are always beating me into submission, but my idea with a non-custodial exchange is if it's non-custodial, do we have to do the full amount of KYC nonsense? KYC is just a big waste of time, in my opinion. If it's non-custodial, can we get away with limited or even no KYC? And
that's actually an excellent question. Eh?
That is what's really going to open this up to the developing world. And a lot of these exchanges don't want the developing world. They want the big, guys that are going to put 10 grand in. But you get 10 million guys all putting in $10 each. You've got a very liquid exchange.
Definitely.
So, that's really what I'd like to do. I'm really trying to explore using the non-custodial side of it to limit or even eliminate us having to do KYC, and therefore opening up the exchange to vast numbers of people in the developing world that are currently just locked out from this whole system because they don't have a utility bill. Your average, Kenyan shepherd, he's got a smartphone, but he doesn't have a utility bill or a passport.
Absolutely.
He's got $20 worth of crypto.
Yeah, absolutely right. Eh? I think that's going to be the key, and I like what you're saying because it certainly will assist a lot of people that aren't able to access conventional things.
Right, and that was the original dream. That was the original promise of blockchain, right? And then all the suits and the regulators and the lawyers got involved, and they kind of ruined the party for me. It's like now it's just an accepted thing. Oh, you've got to do KYC. Oh, you've got to be regulated. Now it's just like that's just accepted. That's the accepted wisdom. And I'm like, when did all this happen? The idea of blockchain was that we don't need all that shit, but
yeah, it's exactly
we do now. So I don't know if we can get away with it because, maybe we will have to do KYC with the non-custodial side of it, but I'm certainly looking into the possibility of not doing it if we can.
Yeah, because you've got those two camps in blockchain, the centralized and the decentralized. You know, it's like two completely opposite poles of people trying to control a decentralized system, and I suppose those are the bigger institutions. But I would imagine somewhere in the middle is something that we need to find because it'll benefit the most people.
Right, right. But the regulators don't care about benefiting the most people.
Right.
Regulators care about, controlling it.
So
So
how do you actually overcome a lack of interest from the relevant stakeholders, like the big institutions, bigger companies that actually don't want to change processes because they've got legacy systems and infrastructure in place that will affect their profitability or whatever?
again, I just think you got to go for the little guys. I mean, yeah, you're not going to get the institutions, but there's 7 billion little guys out there, and if they all throw in $100 each, that's a lot of money. So I guess it's just create something that people really want, and it'll just become popular. But it is difficult without the institutions. I don't really know. I don't really know what the best way of getting mass adoption out there is. But maybe it's not the institutions. Maybe the institutions aren't as important as we think. Again, that's the accepted wisdom now. It's like, oh, crypto has to, we have to get the institutions involved. Obviously, why? Who decided that?
Do you need them to be the market makers, the bigger guys?
No, I don't even want them. I don't even want those big market makers on my exchange. Those guys, they come in, they throw their weight around. They want preferential treatment from you. They want things like, they want, like Forex's dirty little secret, last look, where the market makers get 50 milliseconds or 100 milliseconds to back out of a trade after they've been hit. They can look around other exchanges, see if there's a big, selling wave, and they've got 100 milliseconds to back out of a trade. Things like that. That's what those kinds of institutional market makers demand. They want preferential treatment and lower fees, and the fees don't apply to us, but they want lower fees than everyone else. It creates this, unlevel playing field where, that's why it's so hard for retail futures traders and retail traders to make any money on exchanges, because the institutions that they're trading against have just got the odds stacked in their favor, which means the retail traders have got the odds stacked against them. I just want to create an exchange that is completely a level playing field where nobody has any advantage over anyone else. The one lot traders just got as good a chance as the 100 lot trader. And the only way you can do that is by not having those institutions in there. So, I want liquidity, actual liquidity from a lot of users, rather than that kind of, it looks like it's liquid, but it's not really, that comes from these big institutional market makers. I don't want those guys.
It's a great way to look at it, because, and I was thinking about, with adoption, obviously you've got, if you talk about your Kenyan shepherd, he's a guy that would have a smartphone, but maybe not access to all the current sort of terminology, tech, the understanding, the wisdom, etc. And he's going to make the move from being a shepherd to a trader. And the more intuitive you make that process for him, and the easier it is, then you've got your millions and millions of traders. Because I think the same challenge applies to anybody that is a smaller person economically, that wants to trade and get involved.
Yeah, you've got to make it simple. The interface has got to be simple. We're going to be, our distinctive feature of our exchange will be the ladder trading interface, which is, the prices are shown on a vertical column, the bids are on the left of the price, the offers are on the right side of the price, and the price just literally moves up and down in front of you, and you click. It's a single click to buy, it's a single click to sell. It's a very intuitive, very easy to use trading interface that's very much geared towards short-term trading. And the shorter-term trading you go, the less you need to know about the underlying instrument. Like I said before, when I was a pit trader, I was trading bonds, German government bonds for 4 years. I didn't have a clue what a German government bond was. And I know for a fact the other 200 lunatics in the pit didn't have a clue what a German government bond was either. We were just very short-term trading. You don't need to know the fundamentals. The longer time frame you go, you do. But if you're just in it for 30 seconds trying to steal a tick, you don't have to know anything about the thing that you're buying and selling. So, with this ladder trading interface that encourages short-term trading and, a commission-free structure that allows you to trade short-term without getting killed by commissions, I think these guys can learn trading without having to learn, all this macroeconomic stuff that it's just the price is going to go up or it's going to go down. You buy it and sell it, you buy it and sell it. It's very simple. So I think that's going to open it up.
I think it definitely will, because the developing world naturally are traders. That's how they survive.
Right, yeah, they're hustlers, right? They got to do it. There's no one looking after them.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And the other thing I wanted to ask you is the platform, is it just in English?
No, we're going to have a bunch of that. Right now we're translating, we've got the website translated into Russian. We're currently translating it into Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese. And then, that's enough for now, I think. We're going to launch the wait list to Asia and places like that. And then after that, we'll just, add more languages. So no, it's not just English.
Okay, that's good to know, because that covers a huge part of developing markets.
Yeah. We'll get to, there's a whole bunch of languages that we'll add once we're launched.
And going forward, do you think with fintech and trading and what have you, there's a need to include this sort of stuff in syllabuses in education institutions, online education institutions, that type of thing, to actually show people there's another way that they can actually earn an income rather than just the mainstream?
I think that would be great. Yeah, I don't know the likelihood of it getting put into mainstream syllabuses, but if we could get it out there, that would be great. Yeah, I mean, we did a donation not long ago to some women's coding school in Afghanistan, which was quite
wow,
good.
That's interesting.
So if we any kind of word that you can spread out there is good. Yeah.
Because I know it's funny, I read in the papers this last week that even in South Africa, that the president has put forward that blockchain becomes part of the syllabus.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah, which is great. But I think, for the general population, I mean, most people, as you said, if they made $100 a day, it would change their life. It's just that people don't know how to do it.
Right.
I think that was a part of education to be fantastic.
Yeah, and that's where our marketing is going to come in. That's going to how good are we at marketing? If we can get that message out there that this is possible, and this is how you do it, then word's going to spread. And we attach, you get an attractive marketing message like that and attach some, viral marketing methods to it, you will get the word out.
Absolutely. So what is are you pretty much on your timeline of launching?
We don't have a specific date yet. We're going to, at the end of this month, we're going to come out with the timeline for exactly when we're going to launch. Because basically I've fired myself from coming out with launch dates. The launch dates come from the development team now, and only development, not the DigitX marketing team, the development team.
Yeah.
We made that mistake the last time. There was a bit of a disconnect between the marketing team and the development team. So now we've got these regular updates, these bi-weekly updates from the development team, and they're telling me that at the end of this month they're going to give us, a timeline and a launch date. So when they do that, and I have them publish it on their blog as well first, so that it's obvious that it's them and it's not me saying it. So just to get a credibility back with the development effort. So we'll have a timeline and a launch date in another couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's always like that with marketing. Their slogan is "Ready, Fire, Aim."
Yeah, I know. And the poor developers in the background are like, "What?"
It's so funny. Yeah. But with everything going on in your life and that, do you have any daily sort of habits and rituals and things that you reckon just give you the edge?
I go to the gym a lot, like pretty much every day. I don't know if that's helping me or not. I just think physical fitness is just really important. There's no point being successful or getting something right if you're just, an unhealthy fat ass. You know what's
I'm with you on that one.
so I think that keeps you sharper. I would say that's really. I mean, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm just very focused on being healthy, being strong, being fit. I'm actually the handstand champion of Miami Beach. I've won it the last 3 years out of the last 4. I'm the handstand champion.
Kidding? Amazing. So tell me, how long can you stand for?
Longer than everyone else. It was I think it was like 1:45, the winning thing last year. It's not long, but it was good. Yeah,
that's pretty damn good. Yeah, that's pretty good. And you, with all the sort of old rules and the new stuff that you're doing, I mean, you've obviously got an amazing team around you that are helping you. How much do you lead and how much do you delegate?
I mean, with the development team, they're pretty much their own thing. I mean, I'm very much involved with the business decisions and what the interface needs to look like and all that kind of thing. But I let them manage themselves with their own processes. The marketing, I'm very involved with the marketing, to be honest. I'm just interested in marketing. It's just that's something I'm very involved in. But they're free to do what they want. The guy we've got doing our Instagram right now, we just took on this new guy. He's a genius with that. He's figured out all their new algorithms, so he's pretty much got free reign. It's a mix, really. I do like to keep a finger in every pie, but people are free to really do what they want if it's a good idea.
Well, it's obviously worked really well for you.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, like I say, we got the word out. We've had some development issues, but we have fixed that now. We did get the marketing right from the start. So yeah, we're getting there. It's like success is like a zigzag. It's never a straight line there. It's like any startup. You make mistakes all the time. You overhire, you overspend, you spend too much time on this, not enough time on that. There's just so many things you can do wrong that, it's inevitable that you do a bunch of them wrong. And we've done that. We've made our mistakes, but none of them have been critical. We're still going, we're still funded. So, you just got to learn from those mistakes. And as long as you do that, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So, it's in 18 months since the ICO, we've been through the mill. Yes, we made a couple of mistakes, but we've been going for 18 months now as a team.
Amazing.
The worst bear market in crypto history. We've been through the mill, and the thing is, everybody knows who we are now. So when this does launch, we're going to launch to a huge audience, and the few mistakes we made along the way, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, well, as you say, you certainly got an audience that is sitting on the edge of their seats, waiting for you to take the next step.
Yeah, which is good. Well, it's a hungry crowd. We've got the opposite problem of a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses, they'll be developing an application and then they launch it to tumbleweed. They're like, nothing happens. We've got the opposite. We've got a hungry, angry crowd just baying for blood. When are you going to launch this? So
get on with it.
It's quite a different problem that we've got. We just did it all the opposite way around. We come out with the idea and get the funding, and then the development process is a very public event, and it just seems like it's taking forever because development just takes a long time. You make a couple of mistakes along the way, that makes it even longer. But it's been 18 months. It's not that long from idea to funding. To launching a revolutionary new product. 18 months isn't that long, but day to day in our Telegram group, it feels like a long time,
Yeah, I think, when you say day to day, maintaining interest and keeping people on the boil is a challenge. Because
it is. And we post on our blog every day. And it's just difficult to come up with new content, just every single day that's interesting and relevant and keeps we've built this huge community and now we've got to keep them engaged, because, we can't just ignore them. We can't just go dark. So it is a challenge doing that, but, we are doing it. The marketing team we've got, the writers that we've got, the content planning. They're just doing such a great job.
Yeah, they definitely are, man. Hats off to them.
Yeah.
Adam, just in sort of wrapping up, if we look down the track 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, what do you think the future could look like in your arena? And what sort of an impact do you think you could have made with the exchange?
I think that, commission-free trading will probably, there'll certainly be a few other exchanges doing the same model. I don't think you can do something that's wildly successful and not get copied, so I fully expect that to happen. I welcome it. The best thing that happened to Coca-Cola was Pepsi, right? So I think it's not going to be a problem. I just think, the whole decentralized thing, we're going to be non-custodial. I think that's going to become a big thing, once people realize that, you don't have to trust an exchange with holding your money. I just think it's just going to, commission-free, decentralized thing, I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger. I think we're kind of at the beginning of it now. And I think that's all just going to become very normal in the future.
Well, I look forward to it, and I'm certainly going to be watching you. And I think when you get going, I think I must add myself to your list.
Yeah. We haven't reopened the wait list yet. We're going to reopen it probably in a few weeks' time. But yeah, get on there, and then you'll get our emails and everything, and we'll keep you up to date with what's going on.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. But I just want to say thanks. I know you're a busy guy, and appreciate the time.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for having me.
Been really great talking to you, and I look forward to bumping into you somewhere in the world sometime.
Oh yeah, I do the odd conference. We just did the Barcelona Trading Conference. I was a speaker there, and I think I'm doing one. I think I'm at a panel in Toronto in August. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm out and about. I'm around. So hopefully we do bump into each other.
Cool, man. Thanks again.
All right, thanks, mate. Really appreciate it.
You were listening to an English Forward production, the web's largest Learn English community and Q&A site. Everything you need to understand and improve your English. Visit EnglishForward.com.